First, I wanted to say thank you very much to Congressman Yarmuth and Krista Mills, and of course Gil Reyes, for the tremendous opportunity to participate in such an important event. We're especially grateful to contribute to something that we're all very, very passionate about over at UK College of Design. Also, very importantly, I want to thank in advance my extraordinary graduate students who have done an outstanding job researching all of these issues, and as we'll see in a moment, an incredible job in preparing for this event. I've basically just been asked to take a few minutes to explain the interactive session that will be facilitated by my students and that will be starting just after the break. So it was actually quite a complex task. In my initial discussions with agency representatives, we determined that the goal of this session should be to successfully communicate the technical and financial resources available through the new agency joint venture toward achieving sustainable communities, and more specifically to communicate the technical and financial resources available to help achieve sustainable communities in and around Louisville. So that's already a pretty tall task. But then in subsequent discussions with students, we decided that perhaps the best way to show the importance and the potentials of these resources might be to present best practices or inspiring examples of livable communities, especially those practices that are business forward, showing that investments in sustainability often have multiple paths of return. So to achieve both of these goals for the session, we've closely studied the 6 livability principles that were co-written by the participant agencies in the joint venture. And then we, as a studio, conducted research to find exemplary instances across the country that show these principles in action. So in the interactive session that's coming up, the students will be presenting their findings, or what we've been calling livability principle scenarios, with the goal of piquing your curiosity and stimulating your imagination about how some of these ideas might make their way and actually be implemented into the projects that you're presently or soon will be planning or working on. There are 6 livability principles, and we'll spend about 15 to 20 minutes on each. And after each brief livability principle presentation, we'll stop and take comments and questions and answers, both from the audience and also digitally. The students will be here to facilitate your questions and answers, mostly by redirecting them to the agency representatives who will be sitting at the table in the front, and the agency representatives who will be, let's say, best able to address your aspirations and your technical questions. Just before we break, though, I wanted to share a quick note regarding what the students and I have learned over the course of preparing for the conference. It was immediately apparent that it seems that no one agency or single discipline will ever meet or truly meet the challenge of achieving sustainable communities on their own, but rather to actually meet these most pressing challenges concerning energy and the environment, we need to form new models of communication and collaboration, and we need to develop new tactics for inclusion of ever-broadening sets of information, ideas, and techniques, something that I think this conference is doing very well, let's say moving in the right direction. But interestingly, over the course of the past few weeks, considering the agencies, through our livability principle research, we've started to see the joint venture in a very different way. Rather than seeing individual agencies, we're starting to understand the multiple ways in which the agencies are actually inextricably related. And in the most successful instances that you'll see, the most successful livability scenarios that the students will present, it's easy to see that the concerns of one agency are necessarily the concerns of the others, and that actually those concerns are those of our communities. So it's been an incredible privilege and an honor to work with the agencies and with Krista and Gil for the past couple of months, and we're really excited about what's to come. We'll begin the workshop with a flash presentation, an animation, and that will start, I guess, in about 15 minutes. Okay? Thanks.